Welcome to Gutter Trash Episode 7. My name is Eric.
I am Jason.
Hi, Jason.
What's up, Eric? We've made it 7 episodes in.
Yep.
Can you believe it?
We read a book called Bandette, Volume 1.
I think we did.
It's possible.
So it's been a while since we've read this.
It has.
Because usually we record monthly?
It's my fault.
It's our fault.
It's mostly my fault. I still haven't even put up the previous episode that we've recorded.
Oh, wow. Okay.
At the time of us recording this.
Episode
which
6.
may possibly be our last episode.
What?
I've been lazy and also busy. It's a bad combination.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah. You're lazy and busy.
Right?
You're hating it.
Yep.
I've been busy but not lazy.
Yeah. That's mostly due to necessity now.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, I don't have any major upcoming life events or anything like that, but when I find myself with free time, the last thing I really feel like doing is, putting together a podcast.
Right, sure. Who would?
Right?
That's so 1999.
And I'm going to be a little bit honest.
That's more so than usual.
More so than usual. We've joked since episode 1, 6 weeks ago, that, we have our listenership of 1.
Right.
After 10 years, it starts to get on you a little bit.
Really?
That, you're not really expanding an audience.
If it makes you feel better, I have recently found out that professional comic artist Michael Nino listens to our show.
Okay.
Hi, Michael Nino.
Hello, Michael Nino.
He is awesome.
I have seen his work, yes. Maybe I've even met him once or twice.
Yeah. He's very good.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Michael. And hi, Brian.
Yeah.
You can stop sending me messages on Facebook. We're doing another episode.
Well, yeah.
And again, maybe our last?
I don't think so, but I can imagine that it will be.
It might be another stretch of months.
A more erratic schedule.
Yeah.
So my wife is having a baby, possibly as we record this.
Yep, we're on baby watch.
Yeah, we're on baby watch.
I was actually hoping she would be here
to give birth
to, suddenly scream from downstairs, "It's happening!"
Well, she was having contractions yesterday,
right.
Which are known as Braxton Hicks contractions. Not known after the lady who noticed she was having Braxton Hicks contractions, right. But named after the man who noticed the lady noticing she was having Braxton Hicks contractions.
Of course. Makes perfect sense.
Right. Because it was the 1800s. So
sure.
You don't name shit after women in the 1800s.
You do not.
No.
You don't do it now.
Well, they're making us do it now.
Oh, this feminist agenda bullshit. Oh, man. I wanted to be treated like equals.
If we were treated like equals, we would all be born with penises. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Oh. No, that is outdated, crazy bullshit.
Yes, it is.
But baby is on the way.
Yeah.
Very excited.
So, last I saw you, a couple days ago, was, her hope was that it would be popping out yesterday.
It
clearly did not happen.
Did not happen. So, yesterday she predicted, she's like, the number 24, the 24th is in my mind. And I looked it up and I was like, well, that's Monday.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, it's going to happen Monday.
All right.
I was like, okay, that's tomorrow.
Yep.
As we record this, it's tomorrow.
Right. It's probably 6 months from now by the time you hear this.
My baby just graduated college. by the time this uploads.
And we've recorded 4 more episodes since.
We've all been productive. Oh, man.
Yeah, so at any point in time, your phone might buzz.
Yeah, it's sitting a foot and a half away from your phone.
Yep.
Which is recording the show. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yep. So, has been a while.
Yeah.
Sort of forgotten how to do this.
To be fair, we never learned in the first place.
Also true.
What was our last thing? Do you remember what we reviewed?
Was it The Disappearance of Charlie Butters?
I think so, yeah.
Wow. Seems familiar.
Man, yeah. Okay, I think you're right.
I know it was a you pick. Because I picked Bandette, Volume 1.
By Tobin Coover.
That should be their name.
Yeah. It sounds like a name.
Right?
No, it's 2 people.
Seriously, it does.
It really does.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Paul Tobin and Colleen Coover. Also a married couple.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They say you shouldn't work with your significant other.
Yet here we are recording a podcast.
That is true. That's kind of why we've taken this little break. We split up a little while ago.
Yeah. On again.
Trial separation. But hey, some couples can make it work. Like Paul Tobin and Colleen Coover.
Yeah, they did. Is this the first Bandette collection then?
Yes. Okay. So it's Volume 1.
Yeah. Well, the listener can't see the cover.
I believe I said Volume 1 as well.
Okay. Presto.
Presto is the subtitle.
It's a beautiful little hardcover.
Yeah, it is.
It's like smallish.
Yeah.
But like dainty, but cute.
Yeah. It might actually fit on my weird bullshit bookshelf that I bought a few weeks ago.
Oh, you have a weird bullshit bookshelf?
I've been into collecting bookshelves since the last episode.
It's the new trend.
It is.
It's kind of the Beanie Babies of 2019.
It really is. Gotta get them all.
That's Pokemon.
Oh, shit. No, like for whatever reason, I decided, you know what, I want to put my graphic novels and trades on bookshelves.
They look nice.
Yeah. And, so I bought 2, 6 foot tall, 5 shelf cases. And, I still need, maybe 2 more of those.
Yeah.
But,
plus there's always room for more, because
exactly.
More things are coming.
Right. And
there's probably a volume 2 of Bandette.
There most likely is, and probably even a 3.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I don't have them, and I would like them. Spoiler.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Pardon me. Alrighty. So I have these 2 6 foot tall bookshelves, and they look great, and they hold a significant number of books, but I have a lot of books.
Did you think you were going to house all your books in those shelves when you bought those shelves?
When I bought the 2, I thought they would hold a lot more than they actually did.
Right.
But it's dawning on me.
Some books are thick.
Some books are very thick.
It's dumb. All books need to be no more than 1 millimeter thick. From here on out, such I decree.
So I bought a smaller shelf, a 3 shelf case.
Okay.
That I was like, I can put this in my bedroom next to my bed, because at the time I had sort of a makeshift sort of shelf thing happening, where I had my guitar case on the floor, and then basically just a row of books on top of it.
Oh man, but what if you wake up in the middle of the night with a riff in your mind, and you want to put it on...
Well, now I can actually get to my guitar.
That's awesome.
Because previously it was covered with books.
I know, that's what I'm picturing. Yeah. That sounds bad for the
the
riff master in you.
That's true. I'm so prolific at music.
I mean, they call you Eric Riffmeister Schonborn for a reason.
I don't like to talk about it, but yeah. So I bought this small shelf and then put it there and put it together. And apparently the small shelf was not created specifically for comics and trades and graphic novels in mind.
Yeah.
Because it turned out to only be able to do 2 shelves. And if I shift the shelf in any one direction, I don't have enough room to put any books. Comics, anyway. It looks like it was specifically made for, like, paperbacks.
Yeah, right. like 70s paperback.
Yeah, like
small.
Like from, shitty romance novels,
right.
Paperbacks, yeah. And even then, the second shelf is significantly shorter. And if you put, like, a regular, like, 10-inch tall trade paperback graphic novel on that shelf, it is like there's like a half an inch space between that and the bottom of the shelf.
Ooh, yeah.
So that shelf is reserved for books the size of Bandette.
Cute little things.
Cute little books.
Yeah.
Little manga-esque sized, digest size, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, this one, I feel like it's like...
It's a little bit bigger than a digest.
Slightly taller than a manga, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, definitely shorter than a comic book.
Yeah.
So, were these originally released as single issues?
These were originally released as web only.
Digital comics.
Digital comics.
You mean the comics for losers?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Comics for people who don't like to touch stuff. I've heard of those.
Well, it's not fair. They have to touch a tablet.
That's true. Yeah.
Or if you're a sadist or masochist, a phone.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you have to, like, embiggen everything.
Right.
Every little panel.
I've read a few comics on my phone. It's never fun.
I can totally get behind reading, like, 1 to 3 comic strips on my phone or a computer. And after that, I'm just done.
Right.
Like, I just can't do it anymore. And, like, you know, if you're into that, that's cool. I'm not, like, shitting on that. But personally, not a fan.
Right. Well, I am pro digital comic. I would absolutely switch to a majority digital comic reading if they were cheaper.
I feel like I should, but I just can't.
I am not going to pay full cover price.
Oh, yeah.
For a digital comic.
$1.
$1
Yes.
max.
Yeah.
A little more for like a graphic novel or trade.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But for like a single issue comic, I am not paying $3.99. I don't even pay $3.99 when
for a tangible comic.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Because all good comic stores give you a discount.
Sure. Or you can steal. I mean, most comic shops, if you go into a comic shop, they're busy helping Magic the Gathering customers. You can just stuff that shit down your pants.
You can, yeah.
Just try it next time you're in Mavericks or Bell Book and Comic. Mostly Bell Book and Comic.
Sure.
No.
They've got that back room. You can escape out the back door.
That's where I usually steal. No,
Or you can just break one of their tables and distract them.
I've never stolen a comic, and I probably never will, but I would more likely steal a tangible comic than a digital comic.
Sure.
I'm just not.
Because, well, you don't know how to steal a digital
I
comic.
have zero idea how. I'd have to steal somebody's computer in order to do it. Like, that guy's reading a digital comic, I'll steal his computer. This must be how that works. No, I just like to touch them and smell them and hold them.
I do as well. I agree. And, but, you know, just for, I mean, the fact that I'm on my 3rd bookshelf in the past month and considering buying more, there's a storage issue.
The environmentalist in me and the, like, minimalist that, like, lives somewhere deep inside of me thinks that's a great idea, but I just can't do it. It'll never happen for me.
Yeah.
If I live to be 1,000, I'll not be reading digital comics.
Sure. And, again, let's also be honest. you're not great with the digital age.
No, I'm not. Like, I'm not like fighting it tooth and nail, but I just don't get it. Yeah, I've tried. I'm like, I've learned how to minimally use Photoshop and some other things, but no, yeah, I'm just not really into the digital thing.
Yeah. Well, you may be on par with, maybe slightly better than like some of the members of the church where I work.
Hey, that's something.
They want me to send an email on their behalf, so they bring me a handwritten letter.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like, you could compose your own email.
Sure. Yeah. I have.
Exactly. Yeah. I've received emails from
I recently posted an answer to a question on Facebook.
What?
Someone Facebook questioned the Mavericks. And I figured out the hard way that whenever you hit return, it posts whatever you've written already.
Yeah.
You can't just like go to the next line. So I had to post them a second part of it.
Right.
So, but yeah,
you could have edited the original.
See, I don't know.
Yeah. But Bandette originally started from a company called Monkey Brain Comics, which were exclusive on Comixology.
Okay.
They had quite a few series at the time. Edison Rex was one of the other big ones, book that we read for the show.
So, let me pause for a moment.
Okay.
I don't understand how Monkey Brain Comics, like, what do they do if they don't actually publish a tangible book? What is their purpose? Why isn't it just Tobin and Coover putting it out?
It's the same reason Sparkle Comics exists. It's a banner in which a bunch of people making comics for friends and for fun and whatever other weird bullshit that the slogan is. It's just, they got together and they said, it's better, ideologically, to have a banner to
Sure.
be
So, like, if you check out one, you'll check out the others.
Right,
That
yeah.
kind of thing. So, but what is their role? Do they, like, promote it, or do they, like, endorse it, or I have no idea. What would they do?
Well, I honestly don't think they do much anymore.
Okay.
But at the time, like, they were just like, hey, we've got a new issue of Bandette out this week.
Okay.
Go down Comixology to check it out.
So probably mostly promotion.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't, like pay for it or anything, because it's not been paid for. It's just been...
I'm sure...
And,
well, I'm sure there was some, sort of business plan in there, I doubt that they did this entirely for free.
right. Yeah, see, that's just the whole thing. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. Like, it's not...
What do you mean, you don't understand not working on a comic book for free?
Right, yeah, who would do that? No, I don't understand, like, digitally... I don't understand anything about digital comics.
Sure.
But I especially don't understand digital comic companies. Like,
Right.
to me, a comic company is who, like, publishes and distributes it. And if it's digital, I'm like, how does that even... What is their role? I don't...
I'm sure it's just like Image or Marvel even. This is the company. I'm sure they had some sort of financing and then whatever. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gotten as far as they did.
It's true. So they would maybe up front give the artist and writer some cash to work on the book, and then they profit from the downloads and that sort of thing.
I don't know the ins and outs of the industry.
It's a guess.
But again, I would assume that it's a lot like an Image Comics. They just forego the actual physical printing of the book. And apparently they worked out some sort of deal with Dark Horse to publish physical versions, because they also did the Edison Rex trade.
Okay. Yeah, because the copy we have here in front of us, the tangible copy, is by Dark Horse Comics.
Yes. And, I believe, of course, every issue is like 16 pages or something like that. So not your standard industry full-size issue, but
What is that, 22 now?
20 maybe?
20, yeah. It's 32 at Sparkle, because I just did a 32-page comic.
Oh, it's still 32 at Marvel. It's just that, the rest of those are ads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is 32 of subpar quality artwork.
Uh-huh. And did you get paid extra?
For the other...
For the extra 12
10
pages?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Why else would I do it? I do this for the cash.
Yeah. But, so I think most of the Monkey Brain books were like 99 cents an issue.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Like, I think...
And I bought them digitally.
Oh, you did?
Like all the Bandettes, all Edison Rex, a few of the other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head.
I do think the price point is fair for something like that. I just, personally, am not interested in it. It's like when I see a cheeseburger for $2, I'm like, hey, that's a fair price for a cheeseburger.
Sure.
But I don't want it.
Right.
Even if it's half of that price.
What if it was a veggie burger?
Oh, yeah, a veggie patty?
Yeah,
Sure.
Okay.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, it's just not for me. Like, I think there's a market for it, and obviously they've figured out a price point that works. But I'm not interested.
And print's going to go away at some point.
I don't think it will. I think it'll shrink drastically, but I don't think it'll ever go away.
I don't know. I think that there is a reckoning coming.
Egon said that like 35 years ago, and it hasn't come to fruition yet.
Well, he's dead now.
He is. See? The universe smited him for saying print was dead. You don't see Ernie Hudson shitting on print.
You don't see Ernie Hudson much of a fan.
If you go to any Comic Con, he's the guy in the back corner with no line at his table.
Oh, poor Ernie Hudson.
I love Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson's great.
I have nothing against Ernie Hudson.
Me either. But the sad truth of the fact is that nobody's favorite Ghostbuster is Winston.
I wouldn't walk from here to my kitchen to get his autograph, but I could say the same thing about every other Ghostbuster. I mean, maybe Bill Murray just because it's Bill Murray.
Sure. Well, Bill Murray would probably come up to you.
Yeah. but
say something drunk and inappropriate.
But yeah, I can't think of an actor that I would be like, oh wow, I want to go meet that actor. I just don't care. Like I respect what they do, but I don't want them to sign anything. I don't want to tell them how much I like them.
Right. And we've met celebrities in the past. And
I've met like one celebrity in the past.
You've met more than one. But we just talked about the other day about Bruce Campbell.
That's the one. That's the one I can think of.
That's not the only one I've ever met.
I can't think of another celebrity. I met Kenny Rogers.
That's right. Yeah, you did. But you went out of your way to meet Kenny Rogers.
I did go out of my way to meet Kenny Rogers, but read Veggie Dog Setter number 0 for the full story. No, but I've never tried to meet celebrities.
I have nothing out of my way, and Bruce Campbell for sure I've met a couple times, and Sid Haig of Devil's Rejects.
He's awesome.
He is super awesome.
And what was that old movie?
Spider Baby?
Yeah, we watched Spider Baby. Yeah,
so great. I just watched a movie with him the other day. What the hell is it called? I think it was a Riff Tracks.
Oh, wow.
It was bad. It was like a rip-off of Charlie's Angels 4 years before Charlie's Angels ever happened.
Wow. Wait a minute, is that a rip-off or what do you call that?
I'm not sure. Yeah. Predictive rip-off?
Yeah, proto Charlie's Angels.
Oh, there you go.
It's cool. Yeah, he's fun.
Yeah. Bandette.
So I guess it's come to that inevitable horrific time where we have to talk about the book.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. I don't remember anything bad about it. I don't remember anything about it at all.
Yeah, sadly, I could say likewise.
No, I remember reading it, and I remember enjoying it,
mm-hmm.
and I think it has a really fun, it reminds me of a cartoon sort of like Batman the Animated Series that's one of those things that kids and adults can both enjoy.
Absolutely. It's... but it also definitely doesn't lower itself to be kid-friendly.
Yeah, there's a couple instances.
No, I say it doesn't at all. Or wait, what are you saying?
So it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah, I'm saying it doesn't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, yesterday I had the thought that if we lived in a world where Saturday morning cartoons were still a thing, that we would absolutely 100% have a John Wick animated movie or animated show by now.
Oh heck yeah, we would.
Like the old Rambo show,
right?
RoboCop, or any other cartoon for kids based on rated R movies.
It blows my mind to think back about that. Like there was a cartoon for RoboCop.
Right.
They were like this movie where there's a machine that shoots a guy for 3.5 minutes. Let's turn that into something for kids. Was there his RoboCop cereal?
I don't know about that, but...
And 209-Os.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
But, they, listen to my quotes, successfly translated those rated R franchises into kids shows by dumbing them the fuck down.
It's crazy.
And, I don't think you need to dumb things down for kids. I think I've always kind of said that.
Right. Well, I think they just wanted to dumb it down in order to be acceptable for parents to let their kids watch.
Right, because parents generally tend to be dumber than the kids. You're gonna get there.
It's gonna be there.
Probably a day.
Yeah.
Your IQ will just drop drastically.
I know.
You're probably already freaking out about everything.
I was totally freaked out in January. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be so different and so crazy and so much work and what are we doing? This is nuts. And it slowly just went away, and now I'm just I am 100% cool with it.
Sure.
I totally admit I was freaked out there for a minute, but I'm just I'm sure this is gonna be super hard, but I'm bring it on. I'm this is gonna be great,
So you're just gonna leave all the sharp corners. And
Yeah.
Baby's first birthday, it's time to watch Friday the 13th, right?
I just can't wait to have videos online of me dancing with my baby while we listen to Seasons in the Abyss by Slayer. Things that are going to be considered inappropriate, I'm just going to go for it.
You should, absolutely, you should. I mean, she's not going to know that it's inappropriate.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching Beverly Hills Cop in 48 Hours when I was 8 years old.
Right?
Looking back now, I wouldn't let our 14-year-old watch that as a parent who has to make a judgment call.
Right.
But I'm obviously, I didn't develop a sailor's mouth or anything from watching Nick Nolte, spin the F word every 4 seconds. I don't know. I think people are a little too uptight about what they're. I mean, I wouldn't leave porn on the laptop while the kids are around or something, but
they're already doing that.
I'm sure. Yeah. Can you imagine if there was an internet when we were children?
We'd be horrible people.
I wouldn't know how to I would never have even thought to look at my algebra book. I would never have graduated anything past 4th grade.
No. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've told the story numerous times. I watched A Nightmare on Elm Street when I was 6 years old while eating dinner with my mom.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I remember my mom taking me to see one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets at the theater. I think it was 3 or 4 or whatever, but yeah, I mean, it's whatever.
Right.
It doesn't matter. None of this matters. This is all a joke.
Right.
It's a cosmic joke.
It really is. Bandette.
Oh yeah, we were talking about. We actually did talk about it for
a little bit. Yeah,
that was good of us.
Yeah. So what's this book about?
So it's about a lady who likes to steal shit, but kind of almost in a Robin Hood-y way. Like she keeps some of it for herself.
Sure. Why wouldn't she?
You got to skim off the top,
right? Yeah.
Like anytime I ring someone up at my work, I'm like $10.47, and then like $1 right in my pocket.
Sure.
You know,
it's the way it works.
It's what you do in retail.
It's what I do at the church. I don't do that at the church. No, but she like rescues stolen things and returns them, and she kind of works with the police sometimes. But she's kind of like a Batman who's a little bit more like Robin Hood. Yeah.
Like she keeps some of it. Like she doesn't give it to the poor. She like has a room where she has like some really cool, famous like paintings and whatnot and books, because she's like, well, you know, I rescued 90% of it.
Right.
I'm going to keep 10% for myself.
Sure.
And I respect that.
I do as well.
I think that's fine.
Yeah. So she winds up stealing something from a dangerous sort of uber criminal. And that guy then decides that he's going to put a hit out on her.
Yeah.
And it's primarily the conflict of this book is her evading being murdered.
Well, she's also continuing her life of thieving. Or
sure. Yeah. And she's got a rival thief that she has to deal with named Monsieur.
Yeah.
This book also takes place in France.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of French names.
Right.
That we will probably fuck up if we try to say.
Or just remember entirely.
That's also possibly true. There's a police chief that she has kind of a relationship with.
I can't pronounce his name.
Belgique, something like that.
Sure.
Belgique.
Isn't there like a Matador girl too?
There is a character called the Matador.
I think she was cool.
She was also very cool.
It reminded me of the character from the Silver Age Daredevil, also known as the Matador.
Oh, right.
I forget what number he was in, but I remember Wally Wood drew that cover, and it's Daredevil fighting the Matador.
Nice. You've been reading a lot of Silver Age Daredevils.
I've been looking at Silver Age Daredevils lately.
Yeah.
I love Bill Everett. He's one of those guys that I don't think I ever even noticed that he was alive for the first 30 years I read comics.
Sure.
But in the last...
I don't think he was alive during the first 30 years you read comics.
I've come to really respect and love his artwork. I think he's great.
Famously went through that with Jack Kirby myself.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Is he the guy that did the Dingbats?
Yes.
That's his famous thing.
Yep.
He's known for that. You know they're coming out with a hardcover.
I very well know.
Extra Dingbat story.
Yep.
Tomorrow's publishing. Check it out, people. It's $40, but it's worth it.
Already pre-ordered.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a fun little romp. It's got clearly has, its influences on its sleeve, here and there. A little bit of Batman, a little bit of Robin Hood, a little bit of Diabolique.
Yeah. Yep.
Or Diabolic, whatever you want to call it. The Italian thing, not the weird lesbian crime drama thing.
I don't know what that is.
There was a movie called Diabolique. There was a remake with Sharon Stone.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know who started the original.
I think we watched a Diabolique movie, didn't we?
We watched the Italian comic
Phantom X or something.
What
was it called? Like Phantom Monster?
It was called
Diabolique.
Diabolic.
Okay.
Diabolic, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, the Italian comic character with the mask.
Right. In the car.
In the car.
It's the cool car.
Oh yeah.
Like a cross between the Batmobile and the Speed Racer.
Right. Yeah. Had the song that Mike Patton covered.
Yeah.
His theme song. Right. Yeah.
Pretty great.
Deep down. But a little bit of that in there too. It is totally all ages friendly.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, never talks down to the audience at all. The art's fucking fantastic.
It is. So, did you read the thing at the end about how she colors this thing?
I could not, because I don't like being crushed spiritually.
So, Like, the entire time I was reading this book, I was like, I love the way this looks. Like, the color and, like, just whatever steps they use. Like, I want to learn what that is. And she lays it out in an easy 378-step process at the end. It just seems so needlessly complex than it should be. But, I mean, obviously, it's fucking beautiful.
Sure.
But I just could not imagine that is the easiest way to do it. Like, after I read what like, all of a myriad of steps and processes that she uses, I couldn't believe it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, she does start from, like, layouts.
Yeah.
Like thumbnails.
Sure.
So, that's, a lengthy task.
I mean, it probably works for her, but I just feel like there's got to be another way to do that.
Well, you've never done thumbnails. You just pretty much go straight to the ink almost.
That's true. Well, no, I usually pencil first. I pencil first. But no, like, if it works for her, I'm glad she does it because it is beautiful. Like, her artwork is incredible.
It is.
I love it.
I will say, looking at this, she's got she does this digitally.
Yeah.
Or at least she starts digitally.
So she does some of the watercolory things, like with an actual brush,
right.
But she scans that in and adds it. And she even said in there, she mentions that is her favorite part of the process is when she actually does the brushy,
right.
like tangible artwork. And I'm just like, as we were talking about earlier, the analog portion of me that is 99% of my body says like, well, why don't you do more of it analog and then
right.
just do minimal digital?
Like I'm looking here. She's got the penciling portion, which she does digitally.
Yeah.
And then she prints out that and then inks the digital pencils, like, on paper. It seems, and also, like, the pencils are pretty goddamn finished.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the I would not call those pencils.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess she does do that because she wants to, play with the, analog tools, the inks and
right.
the washes. But then, you have to scan them back in. And
I know, it seems like there's a lot of scanning and a lot of tweaking involved. Like,
yeah.
And she is clearly awesome at doing brushwork.
Right.
Like, it looks beautiful. So the curmudgeon in me just wants to tell her, just do it all analog and then scan it at the end and tweak it if you need to.
I agree with that somewhat. But, it's obviously how she wants to work.
Yeah.
And,
if she's comfortable. I mean, if she's comfortable and, which I assume she is, and then B, if the work is as good as it turns out, which obviously it is,
right?
Then yeah, why change it? But it's like the artist in me just doesn't think I could do that,
right?
Or at least I couldn't enjoy it.
Well, as for me, I hate coloring. I feel it's the most tedious thing in the world to ever do.
It's pretty tedious,
And but she walks through the steps even of just the coloring.
I always appreciate that, though. Even if the process is not a process I would ever think to emulate,
right.
I love seeing people's process.
Sure.
So, the back, 20 pages of this book is her process on how to draw and color her artwork. And
right.
I think that's awesome that it was included.
And she does her own letter. She does everything in this book. So, other than writing the script. And I'm sure she has a hand in that too. But yeah, if you're a process junkie, this book is worth it alone just to get that.
Yeah, it's neat. I swear that's the most memorable part of this book for me, even though the process is something, like I said, I wouldn't try to replicate myself, but it was the most enjoyable part of it.
Yeah.
And that's not to say I didn't like the story, because I thought the stories were fun and cool, but the part that I remember the most is the process part.
Right. But yeah, and we're not, shitting on her process. Clearly it works. We're just, it does seem a little excessive, but then, what artist, there's no streamlined standard for artists across the board.
No.
Even you and I don't draw in the exact same way, when we work on books, not that I work on books, but,
We both do it occasionally.
Yeah, well, you more so than me, and me, I guess I just don't want to work for free.
Yeah, but basically our processes are all different, and it's hard to argue with her results.
Exactly, yeah. And it's clearly worked, and I think they're still working on this. I think they're still putting out new Bandettes.
Same team of Tobin and
Philip. Oh, yeah. And they occasionally do some backups with, I think they call them urchin stories.
Urchin stories?
Yeah. The Bandette's urchins are her little tag team of street people that help her out on her little adventures.
Okay. They're like... Yeah, it reminds me sort of like 30s and 40s comics where like the Spirit has like his little troop of helpers and stuff.
For me, I always associate it with the Shadow, mostly because of the movie starring Alec Baldwin.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing in actual Shadow, stories or anything like that.
I can't remember. I've seen the movie and I've read some books, but I can't remember the side characters.
I guess between story arcs, they would put out these little, like, short 2-3 page urchin stories with different artists, just focusing on, like, one of the supporting characters. Clearly don't remember. They're in the book.
I thought you were talking about the Shadow. Yeah, the ones in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Monsieur and
right,
whatever. Yeah. Yeah, and those all have different artists, and they're really neat looking too.
Yep. Trying to see if there's a table of contents or anything like that.
He is flipping pages.
I am.
The book. Wish you were here to see it.
Yep, and doing a poor job of it. Just no dexterity whatsoever.
I don't know if I recognized any of the backup story artists, but
Steve Lieber did Inspector Belgique.
Isn't that Stanley's brother?
I think it's his nephew.
Oh.
But currently the artist of the upcoming Superman's Pal Jimmy Olsen comic coming out, which
Matt Fraction?
Super fucking excited about.
Matt Fraction don't know how to write no comic.
Jonathan Case did one.
Is that Richard Case's brother?
Maybe? I don't know. But he is the guy that drew a lot of the Batman 66s and the Deer Creature graphic novel that we read.
Okay, I was like, I know I recognize that name, but I couldn't place it.
Mitch Gerads.
I don't know that one.
He did the Mr. Miracle miniseries and Sheriff of Babylon and random Batmans here and there with Tom King.
Okay. I still haven't read Mr. Miracle. I read the first issue the week it came out just to make sure I wanted to buy it.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, I want to buy these. And then I bought them all as they came out and never have read them.
I read the first one the day it came out and saved them all up until like issue 11. Read all, and then when the 12th issue came out, I read that the day I got it. So
I'll have to read it eventually. Like if I ever do like a podcast where I review books or something,
right?
Maybe I'll choose it.
Yeah,
down the road.
Down the road. Yeah. I enjoyed it. And I have some issues with Tom King.
Oh yeah,
but has nothing to do with the Mr. Miracle series. Heroes in Crisis. There's a story by Erica Moen. I've heard the name, but cannot place where. But the name seems very familiar to me. But all the art is great.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And then there's a prose story, which
I skipped.
Yeah. we're not great.
I wish you would read comics.
We're garbage people.
I knew I wouldn't even remember the comic, let alone the prose story, so I was like, what about it?
Yeah, no offense, Tobin and Coover, but we're not here to read paragraphs of stuff.
Yes.
We're fucking dumb.
We're dumb guys.
Yeah. I've recently started trying to, again, read the Sandman series. I've read the first 20 issues of it numerous times over the years. And like a year ago, I bought the Sandman Library, which has all the stories in it. And so I'm going through it, and I'm now on the trade paperback that has up to issue 20. There was an issue in one of the trades that just had a block of text on but it was panels, but it was so dialogue heavy, and it was done in like a really fancy font because
of
Neil
course.
Gaiman, he goes for that kind of shit. Todd Klein, you motherfucker. And I'm just like, and it's 4:30 in the morning, and I'm just like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah. I've read the first 8 trades worth of Sandman.
Yeah.
And I think it's a pretty solid book, but it is not in my, at least in my top 50 favorite comics I've
Sure.
ever read. I get that it's good, but I don't get the love that it has.
Sure.
I think there's much better Vertigo books from that same time period, and much better stuff before or since, and I don't think it's even the best thing Neil Gaiman's ever done.
Yeah.
I think it's good, but it's not the thing that everybody seems to make it into.
Right. I think at the time it was kind of revolutionary,
Mm-hmm.
when it was coming out. And I think a lot
Sure.
of people latch on to that feeling of it.
Right. Yeah, it was groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Late 80s. Yeah.
We'll probably talk about Vertigo after the break here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heard news. There's news.
There's some news. Yeah. But I would like to, personally throw out an apology to Paul Tobin and Colleen Coover for totally fucking up the review of this book that we read 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. Well, it's not like they sent it to us.
It's true.
So,
Yeah.
no apology necessary.
We liked it.
Yeah, I remember liking it, and
Yeah.
I'll if anyone ever asks, I'll say you should read it. It's good.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you much of the details.
And eventually I will seek out further volumes of this book
There you go.
to put it on my tiny bookshelf.
Right? Just more so because it fits as opposed to your actual love of the book.
Right, yeah.
Just wanted something to fit in there.
Sure. If I'm going to buy another one of those, I know I don't have a lot of books that will only fit on that bottom shelf.
Right.
So
So
I'm going to
you
need more.
got it.
Yeah.
Right? Hopefully they do multiple volumes.
Right?
So you can
Yeah.
fill that shit up.
Something has got to sit next to Scott Pilgrim.
Right. This is slightly taller than Scott.
It is, yeah. All right, want to take a break?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm glad you picked this. It was good.
Yes.
I do think it was good. I know we didn't.
We're bad at this.
Bad at this, but no, it was good. It was a good book.
It was.
You should read it.
It really was.
You should read it.
Everybody should read Bandette.
Yeah. And put it on your tiny bookshelf.
So put it on your tiny bookshelf, or get it digitally and put it on your tiny tablet.
Don't get it digitally. That's stupid.
Screams, moans, bats and bones, teenage monsters and haunted homes. The ghost on the stair, the vampires fight. Better beware, there's a full moon tonight. Cannibal spiders creep and crawl. Boys and ghouls having a ball. Frankenstein, Dracula, and even the mummy are sure to end up in someone's
Welcome back to Gutter Trash.
Hey ho!
Hey.
So, Baby Watch.
Baby Watch?
Baby Watch, where are we at?
We're still good.
We're still good. Still having the baby.
Still having
just
the baby.
Not presently.
Not yet.
Alright.
So my wife has been having contractions. It was funny, I went to another comic shop around here.
What?
And my wife had texted me like, hey, I just had a contraction at work. And like I told the guy behind the counter, I was like, hey, my wife just had a contraction. He's like, wait a minute. So your wife is having contractions and you're at a comic shop shopping? I was like, yeah. I was like, she's working. She's paying for these comics that I'm buying right now. He was like, that's amazing. I was like, that's how it goes, man. No, she's having what's commonly known as the Braxton Hicks contraction.
Which we discussed.
Yeah. But, that's a nice car. Oh my God. So we're sitting here right by a window. I live on a moderately busy street here, and there was like a 70s car that just drove by. It was
a pimp mobile.
It was a pimp, yeah. Rag top,
yeah.
Shiny green chrome. I don't know what it was, but
like that weird sparkly kind of thing that you usually see in like amusement parks.
I love it. But no, yeah, my wife's she's working right now. Still working. Could have the baby any day.
All right. Well, I hope the factory lets her off.
Yeah.
If, it happens. Yeah, she's on the assembly line.
Right?
No, she has a desk job.
Yeah, she's sitting in a comfy chair right now.
Yeah. So, earlier, it's been a few months, but nothing super interesting has happened, at all to me anyway. But we talked about meeting celebrities.
Oh yeah, we did.
This happened just this morning at 6:30 a.m.
You met a celebrity?
I did. And, when I tell you the celebrity, I think you're going to have the exact same reaction that I had upon meeting the celebrity, at least internally. Externally, I keep my cool.
Oh, sure.
I'm pro.
You are a pro. You've done this for months now.
Yep. But
was it Stan Lee?
No. But, he's dead.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. I think you're right.
Yeah. No, I'm 100% sure correct. He's dead. When I walked into work on Friday night at 11 p.m., it was a clusterfuck, and it just did not get much better that entire night. And if you would have told me at that point in time, by the end of my shift on Sunday morning, that I would be meeting Kenny G, I would have said, what the fuck are you talking about?
So you work at a music studio where you're a record producer. For those that don't know, Eric is it's called Albanian Schonborn. No, you work at a third shift at a hotel.
Yep, on the weekends, yep.
Okay. Please continue.
So Friday night, we have like a book that, people pass notes to other shifts and whatever. Like last week, the notes for me said, hey, there's a mandatory meeting on Monday, and I just laughed because I was like, I have a real job, fuck you.
Sure.
Yeah. But today, on Friday, the note said, there's a group checking in Saturday night, but they won't be arriving until 6 in the morning. So, do this, and this before, you run part of my job is I have to basically roll the date from, Saturday to Sunday.
Okay.
But all the billing needs to be done before that.
Sure.
So, they're like, these people are booked for Saturday, check them in even though they won't be arriving until Sunday. So that way they'll be billed. And it just says it's this group, like some name. It was weird. And
it wasn't called like
Kenny G.
No. It was like abbreviated like AABS or something like that. And there's like 7 people on the reservation, and they're arriving at 6 a.m.
Wow.
Okay. And so I got there last night, and my previous shift had already checked them all in, and they just had their keys and paperwork sitting like off to the side. I'm like, okay, this is for when they come in. Okay. So I work my shift the way I normally do, and then like at 5:50, I'm like, well, I should probably get these keys ready, and they're due any minute. And so like I go through them and like, you know, I put all their registration slips and their keys together, and I put them in a pile, and you know, I look through them and everything seems normal, and you know, got them all set. And so then around 6:30 or so, this guy comes in, and because there's 6 people listed on the thing, and then the 7th just says bus driver. And, you know, we have a lot of groups come in
With a driver.
with a driver, yeah. So this guy comes in, and he's wearing like a weird hat, and he's like
Is it like a cabbie hat?
No, it was like a sun cap, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Just one of those things where like the brim is like folded like around the sides.
Okay.
Yeah. So he comes in, he's talking to somebody on a Bluetooth, and which always annoys the fuck out of me.
Sure.
But he's like, yeah, we're here with the whatever group, and you're checking in, and I was like, okay, you know, it's like, I just need, you know, everybody to come in and like sign their registration forms. He's like, is there any way I can just sign them all? I was like, no. It's like, I need everyone to, you know, just sign their forms, you know. It's like a security thing.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, all right. I was like, and you're the driver? And he's like, yeah. So like I hand him his and give him his key. And he's like, okay, I'll go tell everyone on the bus. I'm like, all right. So I'm standing there, and it's about 5 or 6 minutes later, and I hear, look, it's like,
You hear a saxophone.
I hear the door open, and in comes walking in this guy with giant poodle hair, and it's Kenny fucking G.
Wow.
And
How do you process that?
I don't know. Like, I'm still processing it. But, like, you know, I'm there to do my job.
Sure.
Also, not a Kenny G fan.
Right. Why would you be?
Sure. I mean, his most enjoyable thing I've ever seen is from the Michael Bolton Big Sexy Valentine Day special.
Yeah. No, he wasn't bad. Like, you know, more power to him.
Sure.
Just personally not a fan.
No, exactly.
He is the digital comics of music.
Sure. But, yeah, whatever. He's
different.
He's different. Yeah, not my thing. So, clearly I'm not gonna go batshit crazy over the fact that Kenny G's standing in front of me.
But you recognized him.
I absolutely recognized him. He's a recognizable dude.
Yeah.
He's also carrying a lot of luggage, and one of them happens to be somewhat saxophone shaped.
He carries his own luggage.
Oh, yeah.
See, now let that be a lesson to you kids out there. You gotta work for your money, even if you're Kenny G.
He's also staying at a shitty Holiday Inn in Dayton, Ohio. We're not that shitty, but it's not great either.
It's not the high.
Yeah.
You would think Kenny G would be somewhere.
Better.
Right.
Yeah.
5-star.
Right, yeah. I mean, we are 3-star max.
Mm-hmm.
And so he comes in and he gives me his fake name that he is registered under.
I'm Jenny Key. Do you remember what his fake name was?
I absolutely do.
Oh, sweet. What was it?
I'm not going to say it.
Oh, why not?
Just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell it to you off air. Like, you know, I mean, clearly, you know, he uses it to remain anonymous.
Was it at least, can you tell us, was it at least like a funny name? Like, was it George Lucas or something like that?
No.
It was just a made up name.
I did a little research, and I don't know where he got the last name from, but I know where he got the first name from.
Okay.
So you know,
Nice.
At least that part worked out.
But it was like a nod to something.
Sort of.
Okay, cool.
Again, I'll tell you off.
You guys don't know what I do.
And literally, like, our interaction was just that brief. He comes in and is like, hey, I'm with the group, this is my name. And I'm like, oh, okay. And even though I'm like, that's not your name. Because you're fucking Kenny G.
Do you know what the G stands for?
Gorlick.
Gorlick?
Yeah. So I hand him his registration form. He signs it. And so I sort of got Kenny G's autograph.
Nice.
With his fake name.
Right.
And gave him his key, told him where his room was, and then he disappeared.
Wow.
And then I was like, that is why the bus driver did not want him coming in individually.
Sure.
So that he could just disappear into his room.
Yeah.
And luckily, at the time, it's 6:30 in the morning, there's not a ton of people hanging out.
Sure.
It was like me, one person in the breakfast room, and like the guy working the breakfast room.
Did the breakfast people look at go, oh my God? No, they have no idea.
Nothing. Yeah. And then slowly, I don't know what the hell was happening, but man, it was 10-minute intervals. The rest of his band came in.
Huh.
It was like they're all just in a bus. It's right out in the parking lot.
They're all
getting come in.
They're all getting blowjobs.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And, consecutively from the same person.
Right.
So
yeah.
That's why. That's what a rock and roll tour bus is about. Motley Crue did it.
Sure, yeah.
I'm sure it's the same thing with Kenny G.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's Motley Crue and Kenny G are right there. So yeah, they all came in one by one, and I had them sign their registration slips. They all got their keys, and then most of them all grabbed a breakfast before going to their rooms, and but it was just that.
So Kenny had his own room though.
Kenny had his own room.
Yeah.
Kenny got the jacuzzi suite.
Nice. He deserves it. Can you imagine him in that jacuzzi playing the saxophone? Eating a continental breakfast bagel?
Where I parked was right outside that room. I should have stopped to listen to see if there was any saxophone coming out of the window.
Some noodle practice.
Sure, yeah.
So was he playing the show then?
I guess he's at the Phrase.
Okay.
Either tonight or yesterday. I don't know. But they showed up at 6:30 in the morning, and they're all checking out. Your cat's eating your phone.
Oh.
They're all checking out today. So, they were literally only there for hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, man, it's a rough road life.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, just Kenny G just staring you in the face.
Wow.
Just unexpected Kenny G.
And before sunup, even.
Well, the sun was up.
Okay.
Yeah, it rises early nowadays.
It rises over Kenny G's shoulder.
It does.
Wherever he goes. That's amazing. So, since you've been at this hotel, I know you've been at other hotels,
sure,
other famous people, but is this your first celebrity encounter at this hotel?
At this hotel, yeah. And when my replacement came in, I was like, if you would have told me that I would have met Kenny G this morning, I would have said you were full of shit. He was like, oh, nobody told you? I was like, no.
Maybe that's what the Monday meeting was about.
It's possible.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then the other interesting thing that happened to me was just before I came over here, I stopped at the little convenience store up the road to grab some caffeine. And as I got out of my car, this 12-year-old kid on a bike rides up to me and is like, hey, man, can you go buy me a pack of smokes? I was like, nope. And just walked in the store.
Wow. Yeah, that would have been my response too.
It's like, I ain't got time for your shit.
Right? Plus, it could have been a sting.
Right? Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So it's been a full day.
That's a pretty good morning.
It's never going to equal your Kenny Rogers story.
Sure.
But at least I've met a famous Kenny.
Right? Yeah. Oh, man.
Wow. So I'm surprised they didn't, like, drop you free tickets or anything.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they did for the hotel entirely, but maybe. Yeah. But hell, no one thought to even tell me that that's who was coming in.
Right.
So, yeah.
Man, that's cool. That's really cool.
And like I said, it was literally the briefest interaction possible. Like barely any words between us were spoken, and I never said anything. It was like, oh, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Sure.
You know, it was just like, please sign this.
Playing it safe.
Here's your key.
He might have been tired. Do you think he was up all night?
I think, yeah. I mean, or at least on the road all night, right?
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
It's a pretty early check-in. But maybe he slept for like 8 hours before the show then.
Well, I mean, again, they were scheduled to arrive Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And they just happened to, apparently they knew in advance that they would not be there until morning. So.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I've met, like a couple of other musicians or so at the other hotels I've worked at, like Fog Hat and Amy Grant, Harry Belafonte.
Wow.
Harry Belafonte was probably the one that I was like the most starstruck about.
Really?
Yeah. Because
I don't know if I would even recognize Harry Belafonte.
Oh, yeah. Older black gentleman sings Deo.
Oh, sure.
The banana song.
Right.
The fucking
Banana
banana
boat.
Yeah. I mean, but even then it was just like, oh, hey, here's your key. Go down that hall to the elevator. Yeah. Like there was like no interaction. Yeah. But, again, I'm a professional at play school.
Sure, yeah. Other than with Fog Hat, where you just like had to
I went fucking nuts.
sign your drawers.
And Foghat is the only one that ever really had any extra interaction with me, in which they asked to use the pool. But it was like 2 a.m, and I was just like,
no Fog Hat.
Yep. It's like, I can't do that, Foghat. You all need showers.
You can't just shower in the pool, Fog Hat.
I know you're playing the hot dog fest down the street, but
oh, poor Fog Hat. How low you've fallen.
Would you say it's been a low ride?
Oh, wow. I would. If I would have known that they had sung that song.
They may not have.
I can't name a Fog Hat song. I know I've heard the band, but I couldn't. If you pressed a gun against my head, I couldn't confidently name a Fog Hat song.
I'm 40% sure they did low ride.
Okay.
And even then, I don't know if it's low ride or low rider.
Oh, okay.
Because there's 2 different songs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Low Rider is a good song.
Sure.
I like that song.
Yeah, they're both fine.
Slow Ride? Is it Slow?
Slow ride. That may be it.
That might be it.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Fog Hat song.
Sure. Alright. Still only 40% sure about it.
Right.
But yeah.
It's funny.
So yeah. So Vertigo Comics.
Yeah, what happened?
They're closing their doors.
Well, I guess it was inevitable.
Sure.
I can tell you that 100% of the copies of Books of Magic and Dreaming that we order at my store end up at this house. Because my wife reads the one copy that we sell.
Sure.
So, and some of the other ones we sell 2 or 3 copies of. So.
Lucifer or
House of Whispers.
I
don't sell well for us.
I don't think I've bought a Vertigo book in years. Yeah.
I think I've tried a couple of them, but I just haven't found a good one since like Why the Last Man era.
Sure.
That's been like 10 years ago.
Almost, yeah. Jesus. Wow. I tried Suiciders. Is that the name of that?
Oh, the Bermejo one?
Yeah. And then, he didn't even draw the second series of it. And it also was not great.
Yeah, I never checked it out.
Pretty, but...
Yeah, his art's awesome.
But story-wise, it was...
And I remember buying The Last Gang in Town, which came out a few years ago. I found them all in quarter bins.
Oh, I don't even remember that one.
And I was like, for a quarter? Sure. And I almost bought, was it Deathbed?
Yeah.
Came out like a couple months ago.
Because you thought it was based on the movie.
I was kind of hoping.
I've heard Unfollow was good,
Right.
but I've never. Yeah, I think Bike Club might be the last one I read.
Wow, that was way too long ago.
Was that before Wireless?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. But man, so there was like this thing on Twitter. It was like, hey, celebrate Vertigo. What's your top 5 favorite Vertigo comics? And like, I was like, hey, I'll play along. I like games.
Sure.
So I listed like my 5 favorite Vertigo books. And then I was just like, but I like so many more. And then I just started listing like all the Vertigo books that I loved. And there was like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all from like the late 90s to the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And it was like after that, like
okay, I see why they closed.
kinda. Like, I mean, they have some names, but like none that ever was like, it's like, oh yeah, I'm following this person to like whatever they do,
Right.
And I mean, even then, like I would say Brian K. Vaughan is almost like that, but there's also still stuff by him that I would not read, like Saga. Like I just have no interest. But, it's also Image Comics has pretty much taken over the banner of what Vertigo used to be.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, like literally a lot of the same creators, but the like kind of off kilter titles and storylines and art. Yeah. I honestly can't think of a Vertigo book I've read in the last 10 years. Like I've looked at a lot of them because I see them when they come out of the boxes, but
Sure.
Nothing has grabbed me.
All right. Like I think Survivor's Club was something I was kind of interested in, but like not enough to like actually buy it.
There was a book that came out, I think, when they launched those there's like 4 new titles that month. I read one of them. It was maybe Survivor's Club. Was it the one like that was supposed to be like the victims of serial killer or like horror characters? Yeah, I think I read the first issue and I just didn't get into it. Yeah. Well, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean it's a little sad, but it's mostly just out of nostalgia.
Yeah, as I say, it'd be way more sad if it was like they were pumping out great stuff and they decided to kill it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not really been relevant for a while.
Right. And yeah, like I just haven't had too much interest in. I'm sure part of it is, basically Warner Brothers, DC was like, well, why are we allowing people to have the rights to these comics?
Right.
It's like we should own everything.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the creators who would otherwise probably have done stuff, went elsewhere.
Right.
Where they get to keep the rights to their books.
Like Image and Aftershock. And
right. And yeah, like Vertigo was important, and that paved the way for what Image is now become, and other publishers like Aftershock and Black Mask.
Didn't Karen Berger start editing something else?
She started a line at Dark Horse.
Yeah, that's
Berger
right.
Books or
Berger
something
Books,
like that. And then IDW has Black Crown, which also has a bunch of former Vertigo people working on them. Yeah.
Like Warren Ellis, maybe?
I don't think Warren Ellis did anything for them, but Peter Milligan did.
That's who it was, yeah. Kid Lobotomy.
Yeah. Philip Bond has a book, but his wife is also the person who is in charge of Black Crown.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
He's good.
He is good, and I almost picked up his book, but then I saw he didn't actually really draw it.
Oh. What do you pencil it but not ink it?
I don't know. Something about it was obviously enough to make me say no thank you, which is sad because I really like Philip Bond.
Right, yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. But I've seen him like post panels and stuff. So I don't know.
He's working on something.
He's doing something, yeah. Yeah, it's a little sad. What are your top 5 favorite Vertigo books?
I would say, man, that's a tough one. Doom Patrol #1.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you consider it? Because...
I mean, it started before the Vertigo banner,
right.
but I think of it as a Vertigo book.
Okay. Because I would not include that because I like the Grant Morrison stuff, but his last issue was the last DC issue of it.
Oh, was it? It
Yeah.
wasn't Vertigo by then?
Nope.
Okay. See, I always think of it as a Vertigo book.
It was
Okay.
Rachel Pollock.
I didn't like her stuff.
I was not
It
a
was,
fan
it was way too, like, tarot cardy,
Right.
like, witchy, and, like, you know...
So your wife probably dug it.
I don't know if she's ever read it, but she probably would. Okay, so would you consider Shade the Changing Man?
Yes, I would.
I liked Shade the Changing Man. I liked Enigma,
Uh-huh.
which is also Peter Milligan.
Yeah.
Why the Last Man, for sure. I love that book. I wouldn't put Preacher in there. I don't know. Probably most of the ones I really liked were like some of the miniseries stuff.
That's they all count.
Was Flex Mentallo Vertigo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one. And Enigma? I don't know.
You already said Enigma,
Oh, okay.
which is good. I'd almost count it twice.
The Extremist.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah.
I think I like the art more than the story.
Well, sure.
But I love that. Yeah.
My top 5: Shade the Changer Man, Enigma, Invisibles,
Oh, yeah. Invisibles.
yeah. Preacher, and Transmetropolitan.
So I would put Invisibles over Enigma or Extremist. Yeah, I forgot that was Vertigo.
I'll tell you how much I love Enigma. I have bought individually the entire series multiple times and given them to every woman I've ever had sex with.
Oh, wow. I don't remember you ever... Well, I probably already had a set of...
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's probably what it was. Yeah.
yeah. I don't want you to have doubles.
Yeah.
So I've bought it multiple times, and yeah, just because I love that series so much, like I want other people to experience it
If they've had sex with you.
if they've had sex with me.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty I'm forgetting too, like Adventures in the Rifle Brigade. Was that Vertigo?
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh yeah, like I said, like I did I played the game of like
Yeah.
the top 5, and then I just listed every other Vertigo book that I just remember loving. And unfortunately for me, Adventures in the Rifle Brigade was not on that list.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, you have Flex Mentallo, Why the Last Man, 100 Bullets, and
Was Joe the Barbarian?
Joe the Barbarian, but I did not like that book. It was pretty, but I did not care for it. And-
Plus, there's just been like some good anthology type things.
Oh, yeah.
Like Winter's Edge and
Flinch. And then like just one shots, like Eaters and Face.
Yeah.
Hellblazer, was one of my all-time favorite characters.
Yeah. I like the ones I've read, but it wasn't one of my favorites, but I like them.
I didn't put Sandman on the list because I'm literally still just reading them. It's hard to count the first 20 issues 4 different times.
I like some of them. Like I like Seasons of the Mist a lot. I thought that was a really good story. I just don't like the ones that are really like Shakespeare worship or that kind of stuff. It just gets a little. I'm just out of my range there.
He's got a little bit of a Shakespeare fetish.
Yeah, Vertigo's good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's pour a little malt liquor out for him.
Yeah. V3.
Oh yeah, that one's a good one.
It's great.
2020 Visions.
Yeah,
It's another good anthology.
Yeah, the first 3 issues are drawn by Frank Quietly. Those are the only ones I have because they were drawn by Frank Quietly.
Yeah, me too.
Don't you own a page?
I do.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I do own a page of that.
It's like an old man jerking off in the shower, something like that. Yeah. Of course, you picked your favorite page. You're lucky. Some people, you just have to settle for just any page,
right?
But you got the one that you really wanted.
That's true. Actually, I think they did have like 8 different pages from it, and I was like, I want that one. Well, I was like, it has a building, it has some people, it has like all these different things. Like I get to see like his art in different, because it has the establishing shot of the apartment building he's in.
Yeah.
Out in Invisible's page too.
That you do. Yeah, Phil Jimenez.
Yeah. Which I bought more for the fact that it was written by Morrison than it was drawn by Jimenez, but
Sure.
But it was cool.
Yeah.
Just
You don't dislike Phil
no,
Jimenez.
I don't. I'm like, he's not amongst my favorite comic artists, but I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vertigo. It's awesome.
Yeah, it was. R.I.P.
Yep.
But, like the Sandman books or whatever are all still going to continue under some sort of different label. Probably Black Label, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand the Black Label thing anyway, because...
You have to have a penis in the first issue.
Okay, well then, so did, when they reprinted New Frontier, did they just add cock to all of it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Penis.
Alright.
So I guess in the Superman Year One probably had a hidden penis in it.
Sure. Well, it's Frank Miller, so of course it did.
Yeah.
He probably just took John Romita Jr.'s line art and was like, yep, here's a dick. Here's where the dick should go. Here's my sloppily drawn inked dick.
Those covers are probably the worst thing I've ever seen him draw. Like, I like his art generally, but I think he's done some bad stuff. But man,
Are we talking Miller or Romita?
Miller.
Okay.
I have never seen anything worse drawn by Frank Miller than the covers to issue 1 and 2 of Superman Year One. They are shit. Yeah.
What happened to Frank Miller?
I do not know. I wonder. Yeah. I mean, he's done more great comics, like percentage-wise. Like the books that he's done that are good are so good.
Right.
But man, lately, yeah, wow. I mean, I still respect the guy for what he has done, but yeah, the new stuff is just awful.
Did you read Xerxes or whatever?
No.
I remember, I think Joe G said he read the first issue and enjoyed it. Our friend who apparently does comic reviews online.
Sure. See, I didn't even dig 300 though, and it's like a sequel to that. So.
Yeah.
I thought the art was good in 300, but I just didn't enjoy it.
I like the comic. About the movie.
Oh, the movie was even worse.
Yeah, the movie is terrible. Zack Snyder. How did that guy ever continue to get work?
I liked the Watchmen that he did. I liked that one.
Didn't care for that myself either.
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I like Dawn of the Dead.
Oh yeah, he did that.
Yeah.
The second one. Richard Cheese.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash.
Sure. That's a soundtrack.
Yeah.
Not in the actual movie. But, yeah, those are on there.
Well, they're in the movie.
Well, sure.
But, yeah, they're not in the movie.
Right, yeah. They're
not.
Yeah, no, and also it's not, integral to the movie.
That's all I remember about it.
Alright. I just remember it being really good and thinking, hey, this guy has promise.
Yeah.
And then was proven wrong. And instead, the screenwriter went on to do much better things. Who I already was a fan of.
Who's that?
James Gunn.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of him.
Yeah. He's done a little movie you may have heard of called...
Slither.
Yes. But also The Specials.
Oh, yeah. Biopic about the ska band.
Yep.
Nice.
I read a comic recently.
Oh.
That probably in a better day and age would have been a Vertigo book. Called Rover Red Charlie.
Oh, yeah.
It was written by Garth Ennis, former Vertigo ingenue.
Sure.
It was pretty good.
It's about dogs.
It is about dogs. It's about dogs in the apocalypse.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds good, especially by Ennis.
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's, still NSC stuff throughout, just, random gross shit that maybe probably could have been cut, but,
Sure. But he wants it in there.
Sure, yeah. But otherwise, it had a lot of heart, and it was really enjoyable. I would recommend it.
Who published that one?
Avatar.
Okay.
Who also publishes a lot of stuff that I don't ever want to read.
Right?
Yeah.
Like everything else.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Every Cthulhu rape book that you ever thought shouldn't exist, they've got them.
Yeah, they've got 8 covers for each issue, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Avatar.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they got Alan Moore and Garth Ennis to be so involved in Avatar.
Right?
I don't get it.
It's a little weird. Especially Alan Moore.
Yeah.
Especially as he's so curmudgeonly and picky.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they are pretty much the polar opposite of DC, then.
Right. That is true. DC only has 2 variant covers per issue.
That's true. That's only for their big titles. Most places 1 variant.
You read anything recently?
I read The Follies of Richard Wadsworth by Nick Mandag. I like that a lot.
Alright.
It's like a 3-story graphic novel, just like deadpan, dry humor, Canadian humor.
He lost me at Canadian.
It was pretty good. I like that guy a lot. But yeah, just random stuff. I'm reading Paper Girls, which is the 1 issue away from being over. That's been pretty good.
Yeah.
I read Silver Surfer Black #1.
Oh yeah, I read that as well.
I like the art a lot.
The art's great.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the story. We kind of talked about this a little bit the other day. I don't mind the story, but it is picking up a lot from a whole bunch of other comics that I've never read.
Yeah.
And I find that to be a little irritating.
Yeah. That was my main problem with it too. Like, otherwise it was fine, but yeah, the art's 90% of the reason I picked it up anyway.
Yeah. Treadmore is
probably more like 99% of the reason I picked it up.
Treadmore is just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
He is a weird kind of genius.
I agree. Yeah, it's special.
Yeah.
There's something special there.
Yeah. I had Justin Jordan, who wrote the Luther Strode stuff with Trad, posted one of the upcoming Silver Surfer covers that he did. And he posted the color version and the black and white version. And the color version looks great, but the black and white version, just like, wow, why did they color it?
Yeah. Wow.
They shouldn't have. Like, no offense to the colorist.
Yeah.
But the black and white version is just mind-blowing.
I'll have to look for that. Yeah, he's good. I'd like to see him draw a Gwar comic. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, Luther Strode is almost kind of there.
For sure. Yeah.
Just excessively violent and weird creatures and stuff.
Masks. I feel like I've read some older stuff, but I can't think of.
Well, you've been reading a lot of Silver Age Daredevil, as we established earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Meet any celebrities lately?
Not really, unfortunately. Yeah.
I saw your phone ring. Was your wife giving birth yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
It was just a friend of mine wanted to probably have ice cream or something.
Okay. Right. Blow them off and have ice cream with me. Already here.
Then we could all 3 have ice cream.
Yes. No, not gonna happen. I don't want to hang out with 20 after Rich. I'm assuming it wasn't what? Was it?
No, it was Zibby.
So no baby yet.
No baby.
But it's close.
Could be today.
Could be today. Could be a week from now. We don't know. But it's gonna throw your life out of whack.
Sure.
And
Just for like 18 years, though.
Probably, yeah. It's not too long in the grand scheme of things. But, unfortunately, you've decided to do this thing, and it's gonna fuck up my life a little bit. And I don't appreciate it much.
Should have consulted you.
You should have, really. I mean, I at least would have given you the speech about how irresponsible it is to bring children into this terrible fucking world that we live in.
It is a scary place. It's real scary.
Yeah, it's not great, and it's not going to get better.
Kenny G can just stroll into your place of work at any moment, unannounced. That's the kind of world we live in.
Do you want your future daughter to just have a run-in with Kenny G?
No!
No! Nobody does. Nobody wants to have a run-in with Kenny G.
Kenneth Gorlak? No, not at all. I'll keep her safe. I'll homeschool her. No vax. None of that. She'll be safe here. But no, yeah, it's going to be different.
Yeah. So,
But hopefully we'll still find time to do this.
maybe, I don't know. Like drawing nights up in the air now.
It's up in the air. Everything's up in the air.
Gutter trash is questionable.
Sure.
Even me just stopping by the comic store is iffy.
Because I might not be there.
Because you might not be there, and apparently I'm not allowed to go in when you're not there.
You were told such.
Every time I come in, like as soon as I walk in, I'm like, yeah, Jason's not here, man. It's like, I come in here for other things
Right.
too. You know?
That's funny.
It's like, I will give you money for stuff. Jason does not have to be here for me to do that.
No. That's funny.
I also got the same thing at GameSwap. Like, Rascal's not here. It's like, I may want to just look for something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Play Donkey Kong.
Well, yeah. Me and the long-haired drunk guy.
I knew you were talking
Just yelling at each other. So I would ideally like to continue doing things with you.
Sure.
You are one of my closest friends.
Yeah. I have good fun with.
Geographically and emotionally.
Oh, yeah. I thought we were just talking about geographically.
Oh, well. I mean, geographically, you are my closest friend.
Right, sure. I mean, especially at this moment.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're
Right.
sitting at the same time.
That is true. But even when we part company tonight, you will still be the closest to me.
Right.
In any direction.
Wow.
Like, you are blocks away from me.
I feel honored.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you chose to move here.
That's true.
Yeah.
I moved in near you.
That's
why.
true.
It's primarily why we chose this place.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it.
The school system's fine, but
Well,
it's right on the road.
yeah. Hey, you don't have to worry about that for like 6 more years.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Plus, I said homeschool.
6 years from now, may be the only option.
It's true.
6 years from now, we all may have to bunker with each other in like some underground concrete tube.
Well, you'll be in a different one because you're not all white. Yeah. Sorry to say. It's,
Yeah, no, it's coming. Back when the dipshit was elected, and before all this became horrifying.
Sure.
I made the joke that, hey, I'm part Hispanic. Maybe they'll, deport me to some, other country, and that'd be great. Deport me back to my homeland of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, even though you never weren't born there.
Nope, I'm born right here in Dayton. That's why I have no accent other than just hillbilly. That's why I speak no words of Spanish. That's why I have a Scandinavian name.
But it didn't happen. You weren't deported.
No.
Sorry.
Instead, now I'll just be in a concentration camp.
You know. Well, you've always had trouble concentrating, so maybe it's a great idea.
It's true.
Yeah.
It is true. What were we talking about?
We might do the show again.
We might do the show again. not sure when exactly.
Yeah, I think we will do the show again.
Yeah.
It'll just be... It could be next week, it could be 3 months from now.
I would like to do the show again. I would like to continue doing this show.
Sure.
Even if there's going to be a screaming baby in the background.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be just like having Edna again.
Yeah.
Poor Edna.
Or like the bird.
Or the bird, yeah. The bird happened for a while. R.I.P. the bird.
The bird's gone.
R.I.P. Edna.
She's still around.
She's still around. She just doesn't like me anymore.
She's just hiding. No, she's just sleepy a lot lately.
What's that about?
I don't know.
I always heard that boxers were just always, super energetic.
She's been
all the time.
She's like flicks that switch a lot, but she sleeps a lot too.
Yeah. And the other dog who hates me is just...
She used to hate you.
She still isn't fond of me, but I believe she tolerates me more now. She is literally feet away, just pass the fuck out.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, so probably the next time we do this, you may have had a child.
Yeah, I'm guaranteed.
Yeah. Do you have a name already?
Larry?
Larry?
Yeah.
It's a good name. It's a good name for a girl.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to, gender specify anyone these days.
No, her name is Emerald Ripley Young.
Where'd the emerald come from?
Emerald is my wife's birthstone, and she's
okay.
always wanted to name her child that if she had a daughter, but her previous two were boys, and she just didn't want to name either of them Emerald.
She could have named one of them Emerald.
Emerald,
Like
yeah.
the chef. Bam!
Yeah, that
Yeah.
And then Ripley,
And we could just call him, I know why you chose Ripley.
because believe it or not, no, the movie Alien, Ellen Ripley is my favorite badass female fictional character.
Yeah. My ex-girlfriend, from, years ago, who destroyed my life. Her niece had a daughter when she and I were dating, and, gave birth, and, I remember, asking, so what do they name her? Her name's Ripley. I was like, that's awesome. Like, Alien?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, like just a real badass, woman,
That's cool.
Yeah, they didn't name her Ripley.
Oh. They were thinking about it, though.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. Just misheard.
Oh, what was it really?
Ridley, maybe?
Ridley, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Nothing nearly as cool. Yeah. Emerald Ripley Young.
We'll probably...
Bradshaw Young?
Not Bradshaw. We'll probably mostly call her Emmy, most likely.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it's cuter.
Sure. It's shorter.
It's shorter. Easy to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even... I have trouble saying Emerald. I'm like, is it 3 syllables? 4? 2? I don't know.
Emerald. It's 2.
See, we...
E-M-R-O-L-D.
Emerald. Emerald, yeah. No, just M. Rolled. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Emerald. Yeah. Is it like an apostrophe, like a weird alien name?
Oh, it should be. Like the third letter is capitalized for no reason.
Right, yeah. Did Chris Claremont write You're a Kid?
Did you hear Chris Claremont and Bill Sienkiewicz are doing a New Mutants one-shot?
I did not.
Yeah, they're doing a one-shot in November or September together.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah.
I might actually check that out.
Should be
I was
cool.
never a huge New Mutants fan.
I wasn't either. Not till Liefeld came along.
Well, sure,
But-
yeah.
But
Obviously.
looking back at it, it's some of the most amazing 80s art in a Marvel comic.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. I don't know if I'll read it or not, but
Right, yeah.
check it out.
I own a trade paperback of the Demon Bear saga, but I've never read it.
The art's awesome.
And the art's
Yeah.
fucking great. And that was, I think, basically the day that Bill Sienkiewicz, took acid and, figured out his new art style.
Sure.
Because, everything up till that point had been just like you can see the evolution of Sienkiewicz's art, like go from like Neil Adamsy to like really loose Neil Adamsy to then just crazy fucking, inspiring Dave McKean, and everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, he was great. Did he do Moon Knight before New Mutants, or was that simultaneously? Or
before.
Okay. Yeah, because that one wasn't as crazy.
Yeah, like I said, that was more him like, in a Neil Adams sort of phase.
But like the later ones, there's some like weirdness to it.
Oh, yeah. Man, I love that series.
Mm.
I always liked the Moon Knight. Don't even know why.
Yeah, that's a cool looking character.
Yeah. Yeah, we may do the gutter trash again.
Yeah.
And no, Brian, no guarantees on when it will actually come out.
Right.
Just know that it will happen. If it takes too long, maybe I'll rope someone else into doing like a special here and there.
Oh, there you go.
But I would. It's our little baby that we had before this little fucking thing that's going to come out of your life.
It's true.
And I'd like to see it grow up to be 18 years old at some day.
Oh wow, we're getting there.
Yeah. We're in the latter half.
Yeah.
So pick a book.
Yeah, I guess.
No guarantee when we'll actually read it or review it.
Yeah,
but it's on the table.
It's on the table. Well,
Bandette is on the table.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah. So I was wanting to read a book that I recently found every issue of, called Slash Maraude.
All right, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Old 80s sort of cyberpunky.
Yeah. Paul Gleefully and somebody.
I don't know, Doug Monk.
Probably.
I don't know.
That sounds
two worked
right.
a lot together.
I think that sounds right, but I couldn't guarantee.
Maybe Robert Lauren Fleming. He seems like a mid 80s kind of dude.
I actually still have the cover pulled up.
Okay, all right.
I just wanted to make sure. It is, Monk.
Oh, nice. All right. I am famously not a fan of Paul Gleefully.
Right.
But I'll go ahead and read it. I've vetoed a lot of stuff just because I don't like the art. And just be forewarned, I'm probably not going to say a lot of great things about the art.
Sure.
Yeah. 6 months from now or whatever. If ever. Yeah.
I might forget what we picked and we'll just read like a Batman book or
And that's fine too. Yeah, just not a Paul Gleefully one.
No. He did Catwoman. Did he do Batman too?
He did. He did a story arc in Legends of the Dark Knight.
Okay.
Early on, I remember because my brother bought it for me for Christmas one day.
Oh,
1 year. Just one issue of it.
Sure.
It was like part 3 of 6. It had Hugo Strange in it.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I like his Hugo Strange.
Sure. I believe Catwoman was also in that.
I like his art. I don't know, like Master Kung Fu. No, nothing.
I've never actually read a Master of Kung Fu. But, yeah, it's just some of the stuff I've read. Did he do one of the Batman Predator crossovers?
Maybe. Yeah. I think his, like early 80s stuff is much better than his newer stuff. But
it may also entirely be the fact that, he bailed on the very first Gym City Comic Con.
Oh.
And it may just be, for whatever reason, harboring ill will towards him on that.
That's possible.
That's possible. But no, I genuinely just, something about his art that I do not enjoy.
Right.
Yeah. Just maybe overly rendered. Like, he reminds me a lot of, I guess this guy reminds me a lot of Paul Gleefully, Phil Winslade.
Oh, yeah.
There's like I can see that. An art style that I just don't dig.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's technically all fine, but
just not personally.
Yeah, aesthetically, I think it just rubs me the wrong way.
Well, maybe you'll get rubbed the right way with a Slash Maraude.
I always hope I get rubbed the right way. It rarely happens. Not even Kenny G could rub me the right way.
Nope. You should have called on that hot tub. You never know.
It's true. Could have had a party. Him and his giant hair. His hair is bigger than he is.
Wow.
He is a tiny dude.
Do you have a hat on?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
You can't put a hat
Can't
on.
contain that.
That was a trick question.
Yeah.
I was just making sure it was really
Oh,
good.
yeah. But he is literally more hair than man.
Wow.
Yeah. And he is 5'3". He is not a tall dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But he is a giant of saxophone players.
See? That's all you need.
Sure.
You need to be a giant at one thing.
Yep. And his is hair.
His hair.
And then
He falls
saxophone.
back on the saxophone thing.
All right. Well, this was tedious.
I'm glad we got to do it then.
Yeah, me too.
Before we even forget the name of the book that we
Right?
supposedly read.
You know, I did kind of have to search my apartment to see where I had put this before coming over.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So right before we wrap up here, baby watch.
Oh, yeah, my phone just did a vibrate. It was not my wife.
Okay. All right.
So I think we are good.
Okay.
I don't know, there's 4 texts though. Let's see. At the hospital, giving birth. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
No, just friends of mine being dumb.
All right. Well, I'm glad I could be here, dumb in person with you.
Sure.
And we'll see you at some point,
Yeah.
listener.
Yeah.
I'll see you probably sooner than the listener will.
But yeah, if you find a copy of DC, I think it's a DC comic.
Yeah.
/ Maraud from the 80s. Maybe you can read along with us.
Is there a trade?
I don't know. I found these in dollar boxes.
Sure.
So there's like 6 issues. There's probably a trade,
Probably.
but it's probably out of print.
Most
It's
likely.
/ Maraud.
Right. It's not a lot of demand.
Um,
But in your dollar boxes everywhere, most likely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Back issue bins across the nation.
At least Google it. See if you want.
Sure.
Yeah.
See if you can illegally download it digitally.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there, but yeah, you knew what I was talking about. Listen,
We do not support piracy.
not in any way.
Yar. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. You can subscribe to the show from guttertrash.net or from iTunes and leave us a review. Visit guttertrash.net for email information and for other podcasts and websites in the Gutter Trash Network. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.